Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Night Bully Talk. We've got a special guest tonight who we are really excited to have you guys get to know. So what we like to do is we like to have you introduce yourself, give us your business name, your kennel name, and lead in with what got you into bullies in the first place. Take it away, man.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you guys for having me on. I truly appreciate it. I feel very honored. And my name is Juan Morales, the Big Apple from the Bronx, New York. What were the other questions? I'm sorry.
Your kennel name, any business name you have, and then what got you into bullies.
I got you for sure. So kennel name is Big Apple Bullies. We're out of New York in the Bronx. What got me into breeding dogs and just handling and everything in the dog industry was as a kid, I grew up and my father used to breed American bulldogs, and I always liked them. I thought they were cool, but I liked the more bullier dog. And at that time, the American Bully wasn't really very popular. This is only like a 30-year-old breed, right? So it was very like much in its inception. So I would see sometimes bullies walking around in our neighborhood in the Brooklyn, in the Bronx, right? I would also see like a lot of DMX videos, and he would have like the bully looking dogs, and I always thought that those were really cool. And so when I got old enough to, purchase my own, I purchased it was like a red nose bully. So at that time it was like red nose and blue nose. Then after that, it went to Gotti and Razor's Edge and so on. So I purchased one when I had my own enough money and I had my own apartment. And from then on, I was just like training dogs, and I learned a little bit about the ABKC. A lot of the other registries weren't around at the time just yet. And then I just started to go to shows here and there and immerse myself within the bully world. And I kind of like went hard for a little while, then kind of stepped back out, then went in again, and that here I am today.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, so I want to hit on something. So you said went in and then, kind of drew back, and now you're getting back in.
Right.
Tell us about that. Why did you draw back for a period of time, and then what led you back into it?
So I stepped back for a while because I took like a tough family loss. My grandmother raised me, and she passed
Son, man.
away.
Understood.
Yeah, so thank you. And I ended up moving, like I just switched my life up. I moved to Thailand. I was teaching English out there, and I just became like a competitive Muay Thai fighter for like about a year and a half. Then I got my ass kicked really badly in my third competition, right? My third amateur fight, and I was like, let me just chill, this is really kind of crazy. My jaw was all swollen and stuff, and I always been a teacher, so I kept teaching. I finished my contract, and then I came back to New York. And that's when I saw the American Bully really starting to take some flame, right? And there was a kennel, if I'm not mistaken, it was Murdo Bullies. He had a dog named Cleek the Freak, and I really liked that dog. And I started to follow them and so on. And then I ended up buying a Cleek the Freak son. And from then on, I just started to go to ABKC shows and just, show out. I didn't get to champ the dog out. He was a really beautiful dog, but didn't have as much breed type or as much what we call like mass and stuff like that. And so I kind of just like started to look and trying to see where the programs were going on from there. And then I started to build like around that. And since then, I've just really been like fully immersed within the game.
Nice. So yeah, I've heard of Cleek, and that's a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to see him one time in Allentown.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And that's something. It can be really hard to get back into something, especially when you've taken a hiatus that kind of took you out of Thailand. And, I mean, you were there doing very unrelated things for a while there. So I mean, kudos for coming back. And
hey, when you're in Thailand, man, why not do Muay Thai? You know what I mean? Hey, you can attest to this because I've been to Thailand, and when you go over there, you don't realize what a part of their culture Muay Thai is till you get there, and you're driving down the road in the city, and like there's kids up and down the street, and they're all doing their thing. Like it's everywhere.
Right. And I'm not into lady boys, so I stuck with Muay Thai.
Yeah. They get down over there for sure, though.
Yeah, for sure. That's their part of their culture, from very young. They're really just in there competing, and it's tough. But even when you go to Thailand as like a visitor, you can go to Muay Thai bouts, and you can see children as young as like 7 or 8 competing in there. Like for real. They'll have like black eyes coming out crying. But you know, they fight for money. You know, they fight for food out there because things are really tough in certain places out there.
Hey, so look, was you kicking the trees with your chin bone and all that too?
I was, but I was using pads, man. My shins are not built like that, man. But yeah, with pads though, I had shin pads on for sure.
So little funny thing, real quick. So that movie Kickboxer that everybody's seen in our generation, right? That arena in the beginning of the first scene where his brother gets his back broke by Tom Poe, right? That arena where they're playing the little drums and they're in that big arena. I've been to that arena in Bangkok and seen kickboxing and stuff. It's a pretty wild experience, man. They get down for real over there.
It's iconic.
It is, man.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure. So when were you over there and when did you come back?
So I was out there just before COVID, so 2017, and I came back right before COVID really took like a run for it because the king ended up dying. And when the king dies out there, everybody was in mourning. So you had to wear all black every day. If you came outside without wearing all black, you would get fined, right? If the police would see you. Yeah, and then everything was super shut down. So that you know, once my grandmother passed, I was like, you know what? It's time to finally go back home, pick up all my stuff. And then I came back home and I started teaching back in the Bronx again. Same school that I've been at for like the last 9 years now.
Sweet.
Nice. What's your forte when it comes to teaching?
As far as like my specialty, you mean? Well, I teach English. I'm in 7th grade and 8th grade English teacher. But I like to teach I like to teach like really critical thinking. So like evidence-based questions and stuff like that.
Nice. No,
Yeah.
that's the way to do it. It's teaching is an unsung hero for sure. So it's definitely one of those things that you know, if you have a calling for it, never give up. You're changing lives without realizing you're actually doing it. I mean, those kids are going to remember you for the rest of their life.
Right.
Sure.
Harking back to all those memories that they have, and I'm like, well, I remember I had this really cool English teacher, you know, back in the 7th grade that he always used to say this, or he taught me how to think this way, or how to view things this way. And it's just like, yeah, you're changing lives, man.
That's so true. Let me ask you something. So you had a few years in the dogs, you went overseas, decided you were coming back, you decided to pick up the pieces and get in it. Did you pick up where you left off? Did you tie back into the same bloodlines to the same thing that you were in before, or did you go a whole nother route, or what?
So I went a whole nother route, to be honest, because before it wasn't really like, we didn't really know too much of the bloodlines. Like being in the urban area in the Bronx, like it was just pretty much blue nose, red nose. Then it kind of evolved into Razor's Edge or Gotti. And like if your dog was just Razor's Edge, they were like, oh, that's the stuff right there, you know? So we didn't really know too much about the pedigrees and the bloodlines yet. But when I finally came back and I was hearing a lot about stuff like, you know, even though Dax was a little bit old then, you know, I was hearing a lot about, you know, Dax and his children. I was hearing a lot about Grand Champion Blue, Zero, and like the dogs that, you know, are from a couple of years ago and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely. And so Bingo, how old is your Grand Champion Bingo?
He just turned 2, February 20th.
Nice. Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw this up here so that people can see what you're working with.
Yeah, so as you can see, he's very line bred, like Caleb said. He's 2 times brim, 3 times grim up front. You know, and then with a little bit of a twist, so you added some thick, you know, so you added some Golden Child, which is still off of Rockomania. A lot of Rockomania stuff within this pen.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. And I mean, he's a very, very impressive dog, and he is absolutely one of those dogs that, like, the pictures look great, but seeing him in person, you're like, you know, it's pretty unbelievable. You actually you need to put hands on this dog, because he doesn't look real, and even when you're standing there and looking at him, you're like, nah.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Hey, look, so that's the boy you had at Montgomery in November, right?
Yes, you were one of the judges, right?
Yeah, okay, that boy.
Yes.
Hey, he is tough, man. Yeah, he's tough. He's tough for real.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's extreme with
He's-
he's complete extreme. Like it's extreme features all throughout, but in a very, very complete, nice way.
He's
Hey,
a
and
beautiful
also
dog.
you are
Very.
doing let's tell everyone about this so we can
Oh yeah.
get everyone involved with this too, and tell them about what you want to do and why you want to do it with
So the stud credit
tonight's.
giveaway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
All
yeah.
right, so the stud credit giveaway, I truly felt honored to be on the podcast, and in the video with you guys. I wanted to give back, to not only to the community, but to show love to you guys as well. It's an honor to be here. I missed the first time, and I wanted to show extra love to you guys. And as well, like I said, the community. At the end of the day, we want to breed to the standard, right? And we all want extreme dogs, right? So I'm providing, a free opportunity for somebody to get a leg up on that. Why do I say that? Because Bingo is a pretty complete dog. There's no perfect dog, but you're gonna see, very clean very clean pasterns with him. His fronts are very clean. The shoulder placement is amazing. He has a very short back, a robust, neck, nice chiseled apple head. Which is which fits the general impression. So if you want to get a leg up on like pushing your program to the top, here's an opportunity for you to do so. All you got to do is just tap in, share the video around with everybody, and hopefully we could get to 100 views.
So,
There we go.
what are his dimensions? Do you know any of his dimensions?
Of course. So he's a pocket. He's 15.5 at the withers. He's about 94-ish pounds.
Jeez.
He has a 26-inch head and a 26-inch neck.
Wow. You said what was the height? What was to the withers?
15.5.
15.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
With 94 pounds, 26-inch head.
That's big for 15.5, buddy.
That
Yeah.
Yeah,
is.
and
He
he's still
wears it so
growing.
well,
He's
though.
he's
Yeah,
super
yeah.
young.
I'm gonna
He's
tell
still
you
growing.
what. He looks awfully lean to weigh that much at that height.
Well,
Right.
muscle does way more than fat, but I
Yeah.
mean, the way he wears
Well,
it, it's
yeah,
so
but you
well
see a dog
balanced. You know
normally
what I
is
mean?
heavier. It's got a little extra weight on him. He looks.
Oh yeah. No, he's
He
very.
looks like it's all there, but no extra. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He's
Oh yeah.
dense.
Very
Super
good.
tight skin. Yeah, super tight skin as well.
Yeah, he looks really good, man. It's a beautiful dog.
Sure.
I appreciate it.
So
He doesn't
here's
miss the gym.
no, he has not. He's not missed leg day. He's definitely doing a squats. He's got a very, very well built rear.
Right.
So the way that we're going to be tracking this, guys, is in order to we want you to tell us that you've shared the live. So
Please.
that is how you actually enter into win. So don't just share it. Come back into the comments and say shared, and that's it. And then we take your name, and then we will draw from the names. But here's the kicker: we have to reach how many views did we decide, gentlemen?
What we talking, Caleb? What we talking?
Hey, let's get to 75.
Yeah,
Let's
I
get to
agree.
75.
75.
Let's get to 75 and we draw a name. 75
All
draw a
right,
name.
all right.
So
So
everyone that shares
75.
it.
and I'm
Weaver,
and I'm
there we go. We
monitoring
gotta
it.
share it.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
If we get to 75 during this live, everybody who has shared it and then put in the comments shared, you will be entered into this drawing for a stud credit to Grand Champion Bingo. So we definitely want to to share this away, give yourself, because that gives
There
you
we
the
go.
opportunity.
Hey, they're coming
So,
in now.
I'm
I love
seeing it. I'm seeing
There
it.
we
So
go.
yeah, let's engage, guys. I'm super, super excited because again, this is a great opportunity for a lot of programs
Right.
that could really, really use this one up. But also while you're watching, you get to get to know this gentleman here. So I'm gonna leave Bingo up here for a little bit longer so that way
Yes,
everybody that's just kind of
absolutely.
jumping in, and we'll reiterate
And keep sharing. I love it. I love these numbers right there. Hey,
Yeah.
I want to go back to something too. All right,
Is he?
so
Sorry, Kev, is he a blue try or is it's hard to tell in the picture?
Yeah,
Blue
he's a
tri.
blue try. And I wanted to jump in and say something too. So guys, when we say free, we really mean free. So I'm not gonna hit you on the back end like, oh, I need the semen pull, I need funds for semen analysis, or I need shipping. When we say free, we mean completely free. So as long as you
Nice.
tap in, you sharing this out, I'm gonna ship the package to you. I'm gonna take care of everything. You get the semen analysis, and we'll send the shipment right to you.
Wow.
Door-to-door service from us to
Whoa.
you guys.
holy Moses.
Hey,
A1
is
A1
it?
service.
I
A1
need.
service.
Could I share the live too?
Share it.
Man, I know, but I
Share it.
hear you though.
Hey,
It's
so yo, look, I want to ask you a question. I see you got great handling skills in the show ring, and Caleb and them don't know this, but in that show at Montgomery, it was a lady there had a couple bulls. She had a male and a female. The female looked just as good as the male. And at the end of the day, it got down to them last two, and you had to show her female. You,
Yes.
hey, look, he took her dog and beat her with her own dog.
But she wasn't
Oh,
even
wow.
mad.
That yeah, so that's a great that's a great story.
Yeah.
The lady's super sweet. If I'm not mistaken, her name is Christina. If I'm not mistaken, she's big in the AB. She goes to a lot of ABK and BRC shows. She had Grand Champion Romeo.
Mhm.
I forgot her name off the top
Christina
of my head.
I
Matos.
forget her.
Yes,
Christina
Christina
Matos.
Matos.
Okay. All right.
Amazing, super sweet person. She's
Love
helped me
That's
out
her.
at so
awesome.
many shows.
That's my
Yeah, I was
But
girl.
gonna say if Amanda doesn't know her name, she doesn't exist. It probably she's like
No.
she's like an encyclopedia of this stuff.
Yeah, Miss Christina Mato. She's super sweet,
Love
super
that
sweet. Helped
lady.
me so many times. She's a great, great, great person. But yeah, she
Yeah.
ended up beating me with her Samson. She had a Samson daughter. Samson is throwing, beautiful females at
Oh
the
my
end of the day.
gosh.
We
Yeah.
all know that.
Sure
And
Yeah.
is.
the rear on her was really, really nice. She was a great dog, So I really respect the decision. Also, big unk. But
I
yeah.
appreciate you,
So
man.
you already know it's
I
always
like
love.
that.
Yeah, and then so she beat me, and then she was like, "Hey, can you help me?" And I was like, I got you though. I got you. I always show love.
Hey,
I'm big on love. So
hey, look, at least you
Wait a
got your
minute.
lick back. You got your lick back though, right?
yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Burn
wait
it
a
off.
minute. Let's take a look at this a little closer. We'll put the magnifying glass on this a minute, right? What a testament to your character, brother.
Yeah.
Right? Look, got beat by her, and then she already knew she could hit you up, and and she loved the
Mhm.
way you handled your
Yeah.
dog,
Exactly.
and then turned around and got
Respect.
right back in the ring. That's really something, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate that type of thing, man. That says a lot about you, man.
yeah.
I'd like to think everybody on this screen right now is capable of the same thing, but that doesn't make it common. You
Yeah.
know,
No,
so
100%.
correct.
Yeah.
This is very true. No, man, and again, it's one of those things where it's you have an aura about you where there
100%.
is this honesty in you. There's this humble sense like that you don't gatekeep. You're always willing to help. You're always willing to kind of dive in, and there's no shame in that game for you. Like you do it so proudly, but so seamlessly, and that's man, that's the community needs more of that for sure.
yeah, you're
Thank you,
from the
thank you.
Bronx, baby.
Yeah, yeah,
Shit.
yeah. And I wanted to speak more on that too before I forget. So guys, and what we also do, I'm an educator. I work in the public schools in a very
Mhm.
I work in the poorest congressional district in the Bronx, right? So in the
Wow.
South Bronx. The kids don't really get to have like too many opportunities, too many trips. So what we also do for the kids, and I want to put this out there because I'm trying to gain more people from the community. This is gonna be the third time we do this. I put on like a mock dog show at my school for the kids. So what I typically do is I bring all of my dogs, and it's been growing. So the first year it was just myself and my brother. My brother teaches math in the same school that I teach English in. So we brought all
Instantly.
of our dogs, and we kind of show the kids like how to properly greet a dog, a stranger. How to properly gate a dog. We talked about structure, talked about what to look at, gave them some printouts of structure, and then we let them show the dogs and had like a mock show. Last year,
Man,
last year, thank you. Last year the GCR came out.
Mhm.
Big love to the GCR. Tony and
Wow.
BJ came out to all the way to the Bronx, just for the love. Taught the kids about
Wow.
more of stacking and the judge's perspective. And then I had my people's Bully Pride Kennels, Izzy and Megan, come out, and they talked about whelping and repo services to the
Mhm.
kids as well. And then we did another mock show. So this year in May, we're going to do the same thing. I just want to put it out there. And what I want to kind of do is have maybe some other kennels and other varieties come by so we could actually possibly even throw a real dog show at the school,
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
yeah,
amazing. That's
yeah.
pretty ingenious because I mean, you're giving these kids an experience that they would just never have been exposed to otherwise, and you could possibly be creating the
You're
next
sowing seed.
best
Yeah.
juniors coming into the game. I mean, that's wild to me.
Right,
Love
right.
that.
That's a great idea, man. It's all about the youth, man.
Mhm.
It's
That's
really
the
cool
future.
to hear that you're putting something like that together, and obviously it's starting to gain a little bit of traction, huh?
Yes, yes. Thank God.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, hey,
Amazing.
shout out to GCR for coming out there. That's amazing. And shout out to
No
you and your
kidding.
brother for putting
Yeah.
this on and talking to the upper tops to make this take place. Because I'm sure that there was obstacles. And for you to show your love and compassion and what dogs can do to kids, like, man, there's kids out there that, don't have friends that are, you kind of loners and kind of trying to find themselves. That's an age they're really trying to find themselves.
Right.
And dogs can really ground them and they can really immerse themselves into something that they love.
Yeah.
So man, that could be an outlet to so many kids. Like you can tell you're an educator, like you're an inspiration, like
Thank
real
you.
talk, like with every post you do, with now getting to know you better tonight.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
amazing. I just wanted to make that comment. I don't want to stop you. Like keep going,
And
man.
thank you. And even more so, the kids that are afraid of dogs. There's so
Yeah.
many of our students that are afraid of dogs. And we first introduce them to a puppy, and then by the end of the afternoon, they're petting dogs. They're trying to stack the dogs. They're in there, fully immersed within the program. So it's a true blessing.
I've always said that, and everybody that's gotten one of our dogs and things like that, um, you know, our dogs are so powerful. They look so big, so beautiful. The bully is just such a fascinating appearance of a dog to me. It's almost majestic, right? Like a
Yeah.
lion or
Uh-huh.
something. And then when the kids realize they're like, okay, this is the coolest looking dog ever. And then but people always come back and tell me afterwards, like, okay, the dog looks really cool, but I didn't know how awesome a bully really is until they're not like any other dog I've ever been around. They're just their vibe and their personality, their demeanor, it's just different, man. They're so
Yeah.
powerful, so they're so chill.
Hmm.
They're just different, and everybody has testified to that. It being a bigger deal than they realized, and to show that to those kids so young, like you said, taking that fear away from them, so they know, like, first they see that big dog and they're like, whoa, and then they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're like, you can pet them. They're like, and then
Yeah.
you get them around a puppy, and then you see
Uh-huh.
other kids doing it, and it turns into this thing that's so cool, man.
Right. Right. Thank you.
Yeah, because our breed doesn't deserve to be feared.
That's
No.
right.
You're more likely to get bit by a poodle.
Right. And as per the
Exactly.
standard,
Wow.
it even says that they're supposed to be a very friendly dog,
Yeah.
Companion
other
breed.
dogs
Companion
and
breed.
people.
And actually,
Yeah.
what's really funny is that literally the only time, well, there's two examples of the word extreme being used in the breed standard, and one of them is extremely friendly. As
Yeah.
the
That's right.
description
Yeah.
of
So
treatment.
true.
It's like
Right.
that's a true tell, because they truly are. So you being obviously not just a breeder or handler, but also being an advocate is we always love having more advocates in this community, because that's where most of that power behind the breed actually comes from. So you're doing really really big things, and that's invaluable for sure.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Trying to educate the community as much as possible. I feel like the American bully has caught like almost like a sour rap. Especially because a lot of people misperceive them as pit bulls. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, even pit bulls shouldn't have a bad rap, right? Because there's no dog that's a bad dog. They just have bad owners, right?
That's right. That's
Um,
right.
and so I just, I want to put on for our community, all the children that don't get to see dogs like this. And it's really funny because a lot of the people, a lot of the students, when you tell them, oh, I have bullies, they'll be like, oh, my uncle has a bully too, my aunt has a bully too. And then when they get to
Yeah.
see the real American bullies, they like,
Yeah.
yo, like it's not like this, like
My
Yeah.
uncle ain't got no American bully.
right?
It's
Well,
like should be
I got a
there
Bronx
are a lot
bully,
of
that's
people
what
that
we got.
might have full-blooded American bullies and not like
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bingo's he's the real deal, man.
He sure is, man. He's tough,
Yeah.
man.
He is
Thank
a
you.
badass dog and has a hell of a pedigree, man. So
Oh,
what kind of dog show life is there in New York? Is there like a lot of shows in the over the East Coast way? Is there what kind of stuff y'all got going on there?
So to be honest, there's not too many shows, and the shows that we do have over here are gonna be like fun shows for the majority, right?
Yeah.
And then a lot of the American bullies that you see over here are gonna be XLs or exotics. You're not gonna see too many pockets at all. So it's really tough. So my girlfriend and I, we travel like throughout the states. Like every weekend, we're pretty much in a different state. Like last weekend we were at Last week we were in Virginia at a GCR show. Before that, we were in Virginia again. Then we were in Chicago. Like we've been traveling. For lack of better terms, I just bought a new car because I totaled it coming back from a dog show. I hit a deer. We
Oh my
just bought a new
gosh.
car. it had 47,000 miles on it a month ago. It has 57,000 miles on it just a month later. That's how heavy we've been going.
That's
Oh
about
my
right, though. That's
gosh.
about right.
Yeah.
No, for
Well, if
sure.
I can ever put a show together, man, I would love for you to come down here to Arkansas, man, and check us out.
Of course, man. We gotta show that love.
Hey,
Yep.
so look, you know, you got up there on the East Coast, up there where you at. You know, what's his name? Servants. He had the USBR show up there, in Philly. Y'all who know the guy that
Oh,
helped us judge the show. What's his name? Um, um,
I hope it's judge. Which show?
it's a USBR show. You know, the guy was with us in Kentucky last year. They had the Ray-Ban
Oh,
glasses.
Danny Cervantes?
Yeah.
Or
He
Okay,
has a show
yeah.
over
So
there.
Danny, yes, Danny. That's my people's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
great
Beast
dude.
of the East. The Beast of the
Yeah.
East.
Yes.
Yeah. Danny used to come on QBN back in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
He
old QBN right there, man. That's a
Danny's a cool
long
dude,
time
man.
ago.
Yeah,
I mean,
We
he was
text
already
him.
he was already the legend that he is now.
Yeah.
Even then, but yeah, he used to come hang out at QBN quite a bit.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
breeds
Hell yeah, for
XLs.
sure.
I think he had a dog named He-Man, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
That's
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Man, that is a stellar human being right there. He's a
The
hell of a
best.
dude.
2 trains?
Please.
There I go.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a great
Danny,
guy.
Danny is a wonderful dude, man, and
Right.
he's involved with these dogs. He's done his thing over there.
He's
Yeah, and he
passionate.
does a lot with his heart, man. That dude has a lot of
Yes.
love. Danny Cervantes, he's introduced me
Yes.
to a lot of people. You know, when people need a handler, he's always like, "Oh, Big Apple, come over here." You know,
Yeah.
he's a great dude. You know, he's opened a
Yeah.
lot of doors for myself and my girlfriend as well
Hey, that's
within
right.
the dog game.
Danny's second to none.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Second to none. Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heart goes out to him. He's man.
Mourning.
He lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in mourning right now, and it's heartbreaking to see. But I mean, something that we've most of
Yeah.
us have sadly been through. But man, our hearts go
And
out to him. And
shout out to my boy Quiz Holland too. He's going through the same thing. That's why I wore a shirt. He actually lost his boy Pyro about a week and a half ago. So yeah, some people in the community definitely mourning right now. Like, man, love your dogs. Love your dogs.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, they
tomorrow
don't
is
live
not
for very long,
promised.
man.
Yeah.
Even if they
You
live
just
a
never
long,
know.
full life, it is not very long.
no, and that's
On
and-
another
and-
note, while we're talking about things going on, I just wanted to say quickly, man, that prayers out to John Corteza and his family. My guy has been going through it, man. Had open heart surgery less than a week ago.
Yep.
It's been a real thing, man. Really, really going down, and he's recovering really well. And just anybody that's listening, man, y'all pray for him and his family. It was quite a surprise, and
Yeah.
he is one of the best to ever do it. So we're hoping for his continuous speedy recovery.
Oh, for
Right.
sure. Yeah.
Ditto.
The Surtees's have been just a pillar in the community. They've been immensely supportive on so many levels. So they could use our support right now. So I know
Junior
that
handling, like his Akira, like so impactful with the junior handling. Like you were
Very
talking
much
about
so.
earlier, like man, the youth, yeah, like
Hey.
the impact they've had on juniors.
For
Yeah.
sure. And his wife is actually third generation dog woman.
Wow.
She is
Mhm.
she's third generation judge and handler and all that.
And he helped with the inception of the American Bully.
He
That
did.
dude's been in the community forever,
Forever, man.
Prayers
Yep.
up for him for sure.
Yeah, he's the real deal. And he's my neighbor now, so he's right up the road. I get to go hang out and stuff. He's just the greatest dude, man. Super great dude. I talked to him today for a second and yesterday, and
How's he hanging in there?
he's doing well. He is. He's recovering. He's such a strong guy, man.
That's
I'm
good to hear.
so glad to hear that he's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that couldn't have happened to a sweeter guy or a more devoted family. So
No,
man,
Scary stuff.
They only have 34 kids over there. I think they actually have like 9, maybe.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of kiddos.
They
loitering
got a
around.
lot, yeah.
Man.
So what are we at? What's our count, Amanda?
So we have been fluctuating at about between 33 and 36 for the last few minutes, and I've
So
been
everyone's
taking.
Y'all better
good.
call the
Everyone's
Let's
hounds,
get
good.
that
man. Get
double.
them in
Let's
here.
get that double. Come on, guys. Let's get that double.
Hey, show
Yeah,
my
Help
boy
us
some
out, man.
love,
Educate the
man.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I'm still taking down names, and people are sharing.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I love
keep
to
it
see
coming,
it.
keep it coming, keep it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so we did have a couple questions earlier. I actually saw
Mhm.
them come across, so I want to get
Yes.
back to those because, man, good questions. One person asked, "What is one flaw that's just a can't do? Like one flaw that you see in your dog production, something like that. You're like, I'm not in my breeding program."
So that's a good question. There's a couple, but I'm gonna stick to one that maybe might be a little bit more common. And I would say a king tail. A king tail is something that I will not keep within my program. And it's because the tail is an extension of the spine,
There
right?
you go.
And so if you have a kink in your tail, man, that's gonna cause a lot of genetic problems. And it might not appear as a kink in the next generation, but it can appear as something else within the vertebrae. And I really breed for conformation at the end of the day. And I'd rather move that onto a pet home than ever keep that within my program. No matter if it has the best breed type, quote unquote, that people may say, I'm just not going to incorporate that in my program. I like
I
to breed
knew I
responsibly.
liked this guy, man. I tell you what.
No,
Hey,
he knows his stuff.
I knew
Man.
you could right from my heart. The big apple, right? So it is. It's and the spine when it's a fetus, the spine is in the mesoderm, and the mesoderm. There's a few other things that are created along with the spine. A few of the major organs and things like that. Um, and so it can affect more than just the spine, and
Right.
that's the thing. You
Yeah.
can trade a kink tail for heart condition or
Yes.
issues with the eyes and ears, also
Uh-huh.
with the liver, I think, and the kidneys as well.
Right.
Yep. It's a
Yeah.
tale of things to come, so to speak. So it's definitely one of the things to avoid for sure, because you never
Yeah.
know what else is going to hide itself or manifest as. So
Mhm.
yeah, no man, good call. Absolutely.
Yeah. What about secondary? What's your next thing?
I would say next thing, and this is something that doesn't come up too often, but it's very hard to breed out, and I've seen it
Mhm.
enough times that I would mention it, is a rye jaw.
Yes.
Rye
Yep.
jaw. You don't see it too often because a lot of handlers know how to hide it well. That's the problem. But if you really watch handlers and you really watch dogs when they come out the ring with their handlers, you could tell a lot of times that dog has rye jaw, and that's something that's genetic as well. And it's very it's I think it's a dominant trait. So if I'm not mistaken, and that's very hard to breed out as well.
For sure.
Is that where the tongue kind of be hanging out his mouth?
Yeah, the
That's a
tongue kind
sign
of
of
Yeah,
hangs
it.
out because the
That's a
jaw is
byproduct. Yep.
misaligned, you
yeah,
know, and
yeah.
What's that?
His tongue hang out his mouth.
yeah,
Yeah,
and the
that's
He just got a habit of
so-
doing that.
yeah.
Yeah, and the jaw is not aligned properly. You know,
Mhm.
Right.
it's a bad bite.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
what I was
reason
trying to
why,
hear you say about the
Yeah.
yeah,
jaw. Yeah.
it's a bad bite, and the reason why also not only just for like show or confirmation purposes, but you got to think about that dog and the mechanics of the jaw after that. Now the jaw is slightly crooked, so it's not having a clean bite. So now the teeth are starting to grind in an irregular kind of way. So through time, that dog is going to be in a lot of pain.
Uh,
Hey,
Yeah.
you're right. That's not talked about enough. And
that's
a good
right.
handler, like you were talking about, can position it, especially during the bite and things like that, kind of place the back jaws together, kind of open the mouth for the dog
Yeah,
and things like that.
I
But
mean,
big
I've
uncks,
champed
that
out
is a
dogs.
sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
I
champed out dogs with ride jaw before, and it's pretty easy. You just open the jaw and you kind of turn the dog's head to the side,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate to say, but if enough judges have seen you show and they know you and know the quality that you bring out, they won't even look at the bite too long.
Yeah. That's true. That's
I
100% true.
I see it in mostly exotics.
Of
That's where I
course,
see it
Yeah.
yeah,
mostly.
More
Yeah.
bulldog, more problem. It's going to be a very common thing. So a lot of those bulldog traits are going to come with some issues.
But you know what though? When you ask them, can you see the dog teeth? If they already got it, they can't like after you open the dogs,
the
it'll
jaw.
like fall back out again. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So you can't really, if you line it up and the judge don't ask you to open his mouth, you good. But if
Yeah.
he asks you to open, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gonna come back out again.
But you know what they do, Big Unk? When I go, if you ask me as a judge, let me see the dog's jaw. So this is my hand under the jaw. This is my hand above. before I open the jaw to you, I'm gonna take this pointer finger and I'm gonna poke the tongue in. I'm gonna tap the tongue before I
Yeah.
open the jaw to you. So I'll tap the tongue and then I'll open the jaw and it's already in. And when I close the mouth to you, I'm gonna keep this finger still free. So when I close the mouth, I just tap the tongue back in and they'll put it in. So you
I'm
won't
glad
even
you
ever
told me
see
that.
it.
I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's crazy.
I've been watching, like, I've really studied a lot of the handlers because I want to become a prominent handler, you know. A lot of people say I'm pretty good, but I don't think I'm good enough yet. So
who are some of the
I always
handlers that
say,
you? Who are some of the handlers that you kind of mimic your game from?
so to be honest, there's many, but I watch Devin a lot. I watch Hannah a lot.
Yes.
I watch Paulina a lot. Who else? I watch Thaddeus sometimes. I don't really get to see him handle too often because he's on a different coast. You know who's another one? Martin, Bully Zookeeper. He's also a judge and a handler, and he's taught me a lot of stuff as well. So I'll watch him handle, and then I'll kind of learn from him and bounce ideas back.
Yeah.
Dang. I mean, those are some
Those
great people to watch.
those are a bunch of good ones to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. All those people can handle for
So
sure.
graceful.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
any dog they get.
Angel
like, they just-
Chavarro is another great handler.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much.
Fam is another great handler.
Oh, Bam.
And you know what?
Lamb.
I'm gonna throw my boy in there too. So my boy Angel Garcia, certified breadwinner bullies. He's a pretty good handler as well. He doesn't come out to too many shows, but he knows a lot of tips and tricks that he's taught me as well. Like another gem, right? And I'm not gonna throw too many gems out there because this is the last free one that everybody's gonna get. But when you load the dog's hocks, right? If you see the dog slipping or you see the dog feels more comfortable with like a misangulated hock, all you really got to do is straighten the hock and put your foot besides the back of the foot, and it keeps the hock there.
Hey, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you something about that. Sometimes, a lot of times, when I judge a dog, I set the hocks myself, so I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
That just,
Yes.
I know.
Imagine that.
Me personally, if I'm in a position where I'm judging, if I feel like the handler's crowding the dog too much, then I know he's up to something. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
Because I feel like they should be able to stack that dog and show me that they're really not touching it, that they're back from it. You know what I mean? If they're riding up on that dog, riding into the thigh, riding under the belly, riding these things, these little handler tricks, they work. But like, I'm gonna try to separate them from the dog if I can do it.
You know what I don't like? What I see when I see sometimes I'll see a lot of handlers push on the rear while they're in the ring. And like I don't understand like why they do that. Like I understand why you want to get the right
Bringing attention
angulation,
to
right?
it.
So you want to get the slight downward angulation. But if the judge is seeing you push down on the rear, like I would think you're kind of snitching on yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Well, and then
showing the
you've got-
weakness.
Right. But here's the other thing. I've seen judges do it. And now they do it for an entirely different reason, though.
Keep it stable, yeah.
They definitely do it for an entirely different reason. So when they watch you do it, they know why you're doing it, and it ain't why they're doing it.
Yeah, they're checking this. They're checking the strength of the hips.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
They know you
Right.
ain't doing that. So
Well,
Hey, look,
people have learned
every
that
dog.
it's easier to squat the hip than it is to set the dog forward. To get the dog to lean,
yeah.
it's easier to set into their back than in their back hips than it is to cock the dog forward, but it's almost the same effect.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes you have to use bait to draw the dog forward, but then you depending on how driven they are with bait, like sometimes you're going to I mean, the excitement's they're going to step, they're going to take their step and then
100%.
broke the stack. But you can also, Tim Sinclair, he's actually talked about ways you can lean the dog forward without requiring bait. And you can either do it from under the jaw or you can do it from behind the head, behind the knot.
Right.
And just kind of like applying just a smidge of pressure on either of those, and the dog will lean forward naturally. It kind of just depends. Like, do you want them to like lean and then face down, or lean and face up? Like, it kind of depends on what you're trying to accentuate, the back of the neck, with the muscle pop, or what you're looking for. But there's ways to do it without baiting. but yeah, the slight lean forward is definitely a good option. When you're trying to accentuate the rear angulation. So
I like when they drop the rear. That's what I like. I like the most. Like when they know to drop their rear slightly, because you see more of the round angulation around their stifle, and I really like that look. Sometimes a lot of dogs look like they have even more stiff stifles than they actually do. Right? When you see them moving, their stifles aren't so stiff. But some handlers don't really know how to accentuate on that.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. Yeah. Control the head, control the dog. And that's literally verbatim. What we've had said is control the head, control the dog. Ron Ramos, the OG Papa Pitt.
Yes.
He says the judge should not be restacking the dog.
Yep. Hey, look, he might take it out of proportion, but I don't restack them. I just check the rear angulation. When, like, say for instance, if dog foot 1 foot is like 1/4 to other, and they not like, I just kind of like see if they will straighten up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then and the thing is we've also seen on multiple occasions there's been some judges that we've learned to highly respect who will do that. Funny
And
enough,
look,
the judge at nationals, and what was that, 23 or 24, Joaquin Aceto, he was reposting hawks, and a
that's
lot
right.
of it, he wasn't going to go like I don't remember him actually readjusting any fronts. It was always the back. He was always
It's always the back. I ain't gonna touch the front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I'm not
I
touching the
don't,
front.
and I mean, we kind of have a good idea of like why he was doing that. He wanted to make sure he could see every angle the way he needed to see
That's right. I'm the same way.
Right. And then recently at season opener, the judge for show 4, who was amazing,
I
and
like her.
I hate that her name isn't
I
popping
can't
immediately in my
remember
head.
either. She's like
But
from
she was
Poland, I
doing the
believe.
same thing, and it was
Amazing judge.
something. Yeah.
Amazing.
So, do I think that judges should be restacking? Not so much as I do feel like if they've noticed that you're trying to hide something in a very, very clever way, they should be able to repost the back hawks just to kind of get a better angle.
You're right.
Hey, real quick. So this guy thinks he's funny. So Nikki Lynn in the comments, I'm going to point him out. So he thinks he's being real funny right now. So Nikki Lynn is one of the best handlers that I've been honored to share the ring with. I love Hannah, I love Devin, but Nikki Lynn is definitely up there. So my guy that owns Grand Champion Zion, yeah, I got beat by Nikki. So he's saying I'm going to pay for him to get some lessons from Nikki. I just want to say I see your comments. I see this bullcrap going on. I see it.
Yeah, I was getting there. Yeah, no, yeah. Nikki Lynn is a phenomenal handler, and it's one of those. She's always very, very playful in the ring. So like you have to have iron skills and you have to ante up, and it's so that way, like if you get in the ring with her, if you bait her, it's
And if you talk junk with her before she goes in the ring,
yeah,
she's going to come
absolutely.
out and talk junk after she beats you because she is very skilled. And I've been on the losing end of that too many times.
Yeah.
It sharpens me. It sharpens me. Like she's sharpening me more than she knows. So I respect it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And then Brandon Hatch just swooped in with the "damn it, Carl."
So where did the name Bingo come from?
So the name came from like when something is like something is right, like it's what it is, you say bingo, like, man, like what are we gonna eat today? Let's have some steak and mashed potatoes.
Bingo.
And when you say the right answer, you say bingo. That's what he is. Whatever the expectations, what you're looking for is bingo.
Huh.
I can dig it.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with it.
I
I'm
can
with it.
dig it. Yeah.
So again, for anybody that's just now tuning in, I want to reiterate this so that way we can kind of keep it going and keep everyone motivated. We are doing basically a drawing for a stud credit for Grand Champion Bingo. He has blessed us with this and blessed the community with this opportunity. But there's some caveats here, guys. We need you to share live and then come back into the comments and say shared. and then we'll take your name down. But the biggest part is we have to reach 75 viewers before we'll even draw any of these names at all. So you definitely want to keep on sharing, so that way, we actually get the opportunity to draw your name. So keep putting this out there.
Right. I just sent it to a few people myself. Let's get it out
Nice.
there, guys. Let's educate the
Yes.
community. Let's have a good conversation. A lot of positive talks between everyone. Let's get it there, man. It doesn't have to have some drama to get 300-400 viewers in here. Come on,
on.
I
guys.
know people fighting and everything to get all
Right?
these views, and then we're trying to educate. Yeah,
Right?
that's what happens. It is human nature. It is human
Everybody's
nature.
like
Yes.
learning. I don't want to learn anything new. Come on,
What is
man.
what? I think I know everything.
I don't want to be
Yes.
collaborative. What? That's
What
why.
is this you speak of? Well, yeah, and it's the reach one, teach one. Eventually, like that in and of itself, as far as we're concerned, it pays for itself. We're not in it for the views, because again, like if what someone has learned from anybody we've had on our show saves even one dog, then it's worth it. Then all of this is worth it. So.
Hey, Daniel from New Foundation had put a question up a while back.
I know. I was trying. I told him to write it again because
I
I
don't
make
understand
sure.
what he's saying. He said, "What about the
Slip
foot
under it.
under the rear?" I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh,
So
when he
he's
said that-
talking about like when the dog starts to almost like sit in the ring, and so a handler will stick their foot under their belly, like almost under the rear, and you'll kind of
okay.
like leave your heel on the floor and lift your feet up, so you could kind of, the dog knows once you touch them under there to lift their rear up again.
Oops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you load the hawks too much and you try to create that angulation, the dog would have too much of a downward slope from the withers to the rump. So what they do is you slide your foot under and kind of touch the underbelly of the dog, and it'll know to rise a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, so someone asked a question earlier too. I believe the same question the same person that asked the question I said a while ago. But they were asking, when Bingo was born, did you know that he was going to become what he became, and how did you know that?
So that's a good question. So the truth is no. I wonder if Eddie asked that question, because I feel like that's the
I
question
believe
Eddie
it
would
is.
ask. Eddie, you want me to talk about you? Eddie, I got you, Eddie. I'm
That's
not
all
gonna
it
leave you out,
took.
Eddie. I got you, B. So no, the truth is this. No, I didn't. So I'll tell you the whole story of how I came across Bingo. So, I was in like the flower game. I was doing other things, I was teaching, but I was involved in other stuff, right? And I wanted to kind of leave all of that behind and kind of start a new leaf. So, I used to talk to my boy. We haven't spoken in a long time. Who had golden ticket, right? Jose. And so I was like, yo, bro, I need a stud. Like what have you been hearing? What have you been seeing? And so he was like, yo, there's this dog named Big Boss. And when he comes into the shows, everybody like crowds around him like he's a movie star, right? And I was like, word? Like what's so special about him? He was like, yo, bro, you gotta see him. So I started looking at, he sent me a whole bunch of pictures. I was looking at pictures. I had an extra, just really like just shooting kind of in the sky, to be honest. I'm gonna be very transparent, it wasn't like super calculated or anything.
Right.
I came across a Big Boss litter in Topeka, Kansas, from this gentleman, and he had a female and a male. So originally it was a co-own. And we agreed to have a true co-own. This is why, I don't know if you ever seen my video before about co-owns. This is one of the reasons why I don't mess with co-owns. So I co-owned Bingo with him, and the whole agreement was to split everything. Vet bills, a true co-own, vet bills, food, showing and everything. Like we were having a true co-own because I was gonna really promote and do the thing with this boy. Like, not to really toot my horn, but this is some of just what he's earned in like almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like ribbons everywhere, So anyway, long story short, I went and I picked up Bingo. When I got back, the deal changed. And so it was like, yo, I'm not gonna be able to pay for show costs. I'm not gonna be able to pay for handling. I'm not gonna be able to pay for half the food, half the vet. My mentor told me that's not how it goes.
No.
So I was like, bro, your mentor is leading you down a wrong path. I was like, yo, bro, like we from outside. let's get together and let's really put this on the map. You know what I'm saying? We both trying to transition our lives into something more positive. You know, let's just work together. So the dude was like, yo, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna split bills with you. So, you know, we kept in contact, and out of respect, I'm gonna say, for a lack of better terms, I told him, like, yo, bro, we gonna have to meet up and talk, or we gonna have to figure this out for real, for real. But at the end of the day, you're not gonna squeeze me, you're not gonna pimp me on a comb. It's not happening.
Ooh.
So at the end of the day, we came across. I paid $4,500 for Bingo on the comb. I had to pay $9,000 to have him all on my own. I was like, you know what? Take the money. It is what it is. I want
Another
all the
nine
papers.
grand or 4,500 to equal
Another
9 grand.
45, so it was 9 in
Okay.
total.
Yeah. So damn. So I'm sitting thinking he should have had to pay you out of that he should have had to pay you to get out of that co-own, since he was actually the one that was failing on his
Broke
part
the
of the
contract.
contract.
Yeah, so everything was
technically-
agreed upon, and then he had a conversation with his mentor and then called you and said, hey, everything we agreed upon, I'm sorry, but I actually got to go back on this. So I'm not going to do
broke
my
the
part, but I
contract.
still hold you responsible for your part.
That's
Right.
right.
Even
Cohen's are
initially,
tough.
when I picked up the dog, the dude wasn't trying to give me the papers. I was like, yo, bro, like, I don't really care where I'm at. I don't care if I'm in your neighborhood. I'm gonna leave with the papers. Like, that's what the deal is. So I made sure, you know, I took the papers, but his name was primary. It got very weird. You know, at first it was all love, super duper respect and everything. I paid my money. I flew out there to pick up the dog, and then a whole lot of squeezing and misalignment happened, for lack of better terms. I don't have any bad blood with the dude, but it was just a lot of bait and switch kind of thing.
Yeah.
But long story short, you know, like in basketball, the ball never lies. You know what I'm saying? So I was true. I kept true to my end of the deal, and thank God the bully guys blessed me with a dog like Bingo, and turned out to be only mine and not on the cone, because it probably would have been a lot more complicated as a cone.
Yeah.
It sounded like it was already heading in that general direction. So yeah, no, man, those dominoes kind of landed where they needed to, I feel, because and co-owns are difficult for a multitude of reasons, because you know the things controlling everything are human, and and you know, when things get out of one person's control, they have the tendency to show true colors, and it's difficult. It makes it real difficult to remain friendly, for sure. So
so I always keep it respectful. But long story short, so I got Bingo. I brought him back. And then I went to a couple of shows with my boy Matt, All Pro Kennels East Coast. He does a lot of XL breedings. We knew each other for super long time. Before we even got into the dog game, we were doing other things together. And so basically, we met Eddie at the show, APA Eddie, and he loved Bingo, and he was like, yo, bro, like, that dog is the it, is gonna be the it. And I remember taking him to a ABKC show in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. It was in like kind of like a horse arena, and I remember showing him, and I'll never mention names, but I remember showing him to two people that like are like also like I rely on a lot of information. They're amazing handlers, breeders, whatever, super prominent. And I was like, yo, like, what do you think about my dog? And they were like, oh, he's not gonna have a lot of bone. He walks real weird. He does this, he does that, and like I felt super broken. I was like, yo, I just paid $9,000 for this dog, and he might not be the it. But that's when trust the blood starts to come in, and you keep doing learning more information, and you trust the blood. And Bingo ended up really popping into something super special, and hopefully he continues to pop, you know. But Eddie, before anybody, even like I would say somewhat before myself, super believed in that dog. And I'm just like, yo, I'm biting my fingernails. Like, did I make the right investment? You know?
Yeah.
It is, you know, that says a lot about breeding and getting into this all together. You know, it's like you can only foresee so much. You do have to get to a place where you know what you see in front of you, and you know, if you're into genetic testing, what you may get to look out there, and then looking at the pedigrees, and you say like, okay, with all that in mind, we have a pretty good idea of what the probabilities are, and we believe in it or we don't, you know. And that's, you know, we're all in that boat, because you can put all your eggs in one basket all you want to, but that doesn't make it hatch. You know, it's a tricky thing, man. But I can say, he is a specimen. He is that.
Thank you. And yeah, as we all know, it's like a super duper risk and a gamble. We
Sure.
can use as many educated guesses, we can use as many wild tales as we want to, but theoretically we don't know what the dog's gonna turn out to, because we're almost playing God when we're breeding these dogs, you know? And once, I know, Mike, you're a huge proponent on embark, right? So when we use the COI to make sure that the dog is able to reproduce themselves, right? If their COI is high enough and the blood is tight, then, we're really praying on that. But at the same time, we could cross all the boxes and still things not come out to be what you want to be.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, man. It's all you can do is take all the information you can get and make a decision, an educated decision based on that. And I'm going to tell you, when you add all that up, let me give you another little piece that's got to be added in there, and it's overlooked a lot. You could have everything right, and the dog is that dog, and depending on the nutrition and the health of the dog, the environment the dog is raised in, the surface of the floor, all that, you could take the best dog ever and squander it, ruin it, raising
100%.
it wrong,
Yep.
wrong environment, wrong nutrition, all that,
Mhm.
and take what could have been the best and turn it into a lot less.
100%.
Yep. So that's the other thing, and then if it's a litter you're picking from, well, that's a whole nother thing too, ain't it?
Whew.
How do you pick, how do you pick the best of 10 puppies at 10 weeks?
Right.
It's crazy,
Sometimes it's
right?
easy, and it's like this dog's been that dog from the day he was born. Like Teddy Bear, for example, that Caleb's got. They knew they were keeping that dog from the very beginning, and
He hit
with
the
each
ground.
passing week, it
Yep.
just further confirmed, like,
Yeah.
yep, he's still the dude. Yep, he's still,
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
like they probably at 2 weeks, they're like, I'm pretty sure this is the dog, and sometimes it's that way, but sometimes, like the slitter I got on the ground right now, it's very consistent, and it's been really hard for me to narrow it down. It really, really is. I
What
feel
a
like I can
horrible
just
problem
grab
to
a couple
have.
of them and be good.
Right.
Yeah.
But Michael, to even have a super consistent litter like that is a blessing, man.
It
Oh,
really
That means
is,
you
yeah.
are
Yeah, it
yeah,
is.
he's
super
super,
positive.
super excited about it for a
Yeah.
very long time, and to see it actually not just come to fruition, but to be this consistent, to be what he was aiming at. Man, that
Yeah.
is
Hey,
really
Amanda, send OG Ramos the invite. See if you can get him
All
on.
right.
He actually said
Oh,
he
That'd be
wants to be in this
dope. Yeah, he
conversation.
wants to get on.
Yeah.
so we're
We
Let's
doing
gotta
it.
have him on.
yeah, let's bring him on.
Oh, heavy
Hey.
hitters, man.
Yes. Man, it's always an honor talking to
Man,
him,
that's
having
my
him.
guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So cool, man. So humble. Like a
Yeah,
Very,
true,
very
that's
true
one of
humble.
my
dogman.
heroes in this, man. He's
It really
he's the
is.
real OG for real.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you this. I want so a little funny thing. So I also show in the GCR, which is most of our registries are all breed registries, but in the GCR, a lot of all other breeds come out. And man, under Ron Ramos, I took a win over a Doberman, and we know that's tough because the Doberman
Mhm.
have been bred for over 100 years. Our
Yeah.
dogs, and so this is another topic I wanted to talk about. But anyway, the Doberman has been bred for over 100 years, way more than the
Yep.
American Bully.
Yep.
So to earn a win over a dog like that because my dog has fit the standard a little bit more at that time is a beautiful thing.
Oh,
Man.
certainly. Oh,
Oh, gee,
absolutely.
what's up,
Oh,
baby?
gee.
What's up, man? I
Look
gotta
at
say,
that beautiful man.
I love this crew, man. I mean, I've been an opportunity to have a lot of lives, but I love this crew. These guys are awesome, and to
Thank you,
allow me
brother.
to come on with Juan, I mean, it's another privilege. I had the opportunity to judge Juan, yeah, at his best when doing his work and so that. So I got a lot of respect for the man, and I watched a lot
Thank
of
you.
his posts and stuff, and there's a lot of validity to what he says, and but the whole thing about what you guys are touching upon is on point. You know what I'm saying? So, and I still want to see Caleb and Amanda mud wrestle. That way we get the numbers to 300. You know what I'm saying?
With the Frenchie refereeing, that's what got me right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if we had Big Uncle, then we would be really in trouble, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, we'd all lose. It's fine. At that point, man.
But you know what you guys are talking on is there's a lot of validity, is a lot of merit in what you're saying, and I respect everybody that's on this live, because there's a lot of truth to what you're saying, and there's so much involved. You know what I'm saying? And I just spoke with Big Apple Juan and another live, and we were discussing the whole thing about co-owns.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I've been doing this probably longer than you guys are old, and it's sad to say that I've had very, very, when I say very few successful co-owns,
Yeah.
and it's ironic because your intentions are to help somebody, and the roles flip, and they think that they're doing you a favor, and it's nuts, man. Because I mean, I've literally given dogs away, and now it's like I owe them something or something. I was like, man, you guys lost your mind,
Yeah,
Nuts.
and that's why believe it or not, now when I do co-owns, I got to face my wife. She goes, man, how many times you got to be beaten up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I said, something that's the nature of the beast in the bully world, because you're trying to grow a community, and sometimes these people don't have all that money to do what you got to do, and you got to walk out on a ledge and take a leap of faith sometimes,
Yeah.
and I as in the other life with Juan, everybody says, wow, I can't believe somebody would burn Papa Pitt. And I says, man, you would be surprised.
Yeah.
It's the nature of the beast.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
It
change
seems like the
a leopard's
scariest thing in the
spots.
world to me, Ray.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Scariest thing, man, because
It's hard, man. It's
I
really
don't like
hard.
to give somebody enough ground where they feel like they can take something from me, and I'm like my guy here. I have to show up on them and all that. I just like that's I would hate to have to even go down that road.
Oh,
And
man.
people don't even co-parent well, let alone co-own a dog. So it's like,
What the shame is this is the shame, man. I've done payments, I've done everything, right? And I'm probably the worst guy for that. For the fact of the matter is that I'm not going to call you every day and say, hey, listen, man, you owe me, you're late on your payment. You're this, that.
Yeah.
You're an adult, man. You're a grown
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I shouldn't have to babysit you.
And the other thing is just I tell them from the very get, man. I said, let me tell you something, you guys. You got a house payment? Yes. You got a car payment? Yes. So do they call you every day, or are they just going to come repossess? So it's one thing. So I feel like I don't have to do that for you. You're a grown man. He's saying,
Yeah.
you got to hold up. But then this is why I say, save all your texts, all your messages, makes everything transparent. Be real about everything, and and do it that way. But the thing is, even at that, man,
Uh-oh.
even at that,
It is.
they're going to burn you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I say this all the time, and I wish the entire community would jump on board on this, is that if you know somebody's done bad business with anybody in this group, do not do business with them. And let me tell you why, man. And our community is bad about that. If they burn me today, they'll burn you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So don't give these guys water or light. Let that weed die.
Yep.
For the fact of the matter is, you're saying sometimes you just have to cut the main juggler out, and don't give them nothing.
Right.
And this is where we have to support each other. So if any of you guys would ever be burned, and you were to say, hey, Ron, I see you talking to this guy, he did this to me. Well, guess what's going to happen, man?
He's cut off.
He's cut off. The water's
Yeah.
going to be gone, dude. There's not going to be no fertilizer, no water, no
Yeah.
sun, nothing.
Yeah.
And you know what I think a part of that happens? Most of the time I feel like that happens. Why? Because they don't understand value, and they don't understand values, right? So a lot of people do co-owns, and they'll charge cheaper for the dog, right? So let's say I'm gonna co-own a dog with Caleb, right? And let's say he's not as knowledgeable as he is. He's just a regular person. And I co-own a dog for $3,500, but these are $5,000 and $7,000 dogs. Caleb, being new in the game, if he was new in the game, right, would not understand the value of those dogs. So he doesn't have to respect the moral and the ethics, right? Yeah. And that's why when I posted that video about cones, in my opinion, I think cones should be more expensive than you outright owning the dog outright. Why?
100%. You're doing them a favor.
Right. You're doing them a favor, but not only that, you're providing mentorship. knowledge. They're tapping in with you, whatever. You know, you're showing them, oh, this is what you got to do. This is my connections for this. This is my connections for that. You're almost providing a line and a path for them. And a lot of these people, they don't have morals and ethics in order to respect the game that you have on. And then what it does is it in tune turns you sour. And now you don't want to help or teach anyone really kind of
Yes,
because
it changes
you've been
your
burned so
perspective.
many times that it's like,
Mhm.
I've been through this rodeo before. You know, and that's what kind of happened to me with the first time me getting back in. I reached out to
You are 100% on point.
Mhm.
yeah.
Amanda, why do I look skinny on this and everybody else is looking like
Turn your
all
phone
beefy?
sideways.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. I had me worried. I'm like, what the hell? Oh, there you go.
What do I
I
look
said,
like?
man, I said, man, you're making me look like
Beefy?
pinhead.
Was that the word you
Hey,
used?
you know I got you, Ramos. I
You want me
got
to
you,
look
man.
beefy?
Hey, you guys gotta help the old guy. You know, I ain't no tech guy, man. You know, I'm a pick and shovel guy. You know what I'm saying? Not a techie guy.
Oh my
Oh
God.
shit.
But
Yeah.
Juan, you're speaking volumes, man. And I'm gonna tell you what I do myself, right? This is just me. When I sell people a dog, or I try to avoid, corners. I tell them, you said, when you buy a dog from me, what you don't understand is I come with a deal. You know, I'm one of those guys. I don't say your puppy, take your money and thank you, and you're not here for me. You know, I'm gonna be that guy. Say, hey man, send me a picture. You know, how's the puppy doing? You know, if you need any meds, you let me know, man. I'll freaking mail you some antibiotics, whatever it may be. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a deal where I send you thank you for your money and I disappear. You know,
Yeah.
I'm the guy that I'll give an example. I got some beautiful Frenchies available if anybody wants Frenchies, but um, I've had people buy French with me locally, right? And I tell them, hey, Ron, thank you so much. What I do, I said, listen to me. Come back in 2 3 weeks, I'll give it the next shot. Come back, I'll do the deworming. No cost. Don't go to the vet. No thing. I'm gonna do all that for you. You know, the dog gets sick 6 months from now. You better give me a call immediately. I'm gonna help you. I don't want this dog to die on you, and you can tell me, Papa, please let me hang. No, no, no. I want to see that dog get to a year old. I want to see it, mature out. I want to see it look beautiful, and I'll do everything in my kid, that was in my means. Even when you use my stud dogs, I don't send you semen and say thank you and I disappear. And let me tell you, let me tell you how to supplement this bitch. Let me tell you how to care for those puppies because that reflection is going to be on my stud dog. If the dogs,
Yep.
those puppies turn out shitty, oh, Papa Pit stud. No, if they turn out great, oh, Papa Pit stud. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's one of
It's
those things. So
crazy.
so it's one of those things where I don't leave you hanging, man. When you come to me, I come with a deal,
Yep, it's
and
the
I
deal
Yeah.
guy.
mean that. You saying,
All the
I did.
people that have got puppies from us have sent us updates.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
You know, we
man,
get to
that's how
see
it
what's
should be.
going on. See, they call with questions all the time, and I love being involved with the dogs that leave here and still getting to see
Oh,
them
you
grow
know
and
why, man? Because you're a true breeder. You know why, man? Because you want to see the results of your stud dog. You
Yeah.
Yes.
want to see the
Yeah.
growth. You
There's some
want to
good.
see the outcome. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where a lot of these people are lacking, man. All they see is that Venmo, that Zally come in, and then guess
Hey.
what, man? I'm done. I did my part. I'm over, man. I'm gonna give
I
you an
think
example,
COVID did
man.
that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
what.
It definitely added fuel to the
People can
fire.
think I'm crazy, but I've done breedings, and by no, fault of my own, they may lose a litter because they did
Yeah.
not do the proper, care and stuff. And guess what I'll do? I'll say, listen, man, I'll repeat the breeding,
Mm-hmm.
which is unheard of, but you got to follow my instruction. You got
Yeah.
to do what I
Yes,
tell you.
this
You got to do
time,
this and this,
yeah.
this. You know, and I've done multiple. You have no idea how many breedings I've done with guys that are like well known now, and even then they were well known, and they didn't have the money at the time to do. And I think, yes, man, I think this is going to be an exciting breeding. I'll send it to you. You know, I know you'll take care of me, and they do. And I've had very few times where people will fail me, but guess what? They do. It's the beast. You know, it's the nature of the beast. You know,
Yep.
and you guys talked on other subjects about judging and so forth and ride bites and I don't want to get too involved with that because I have my opinions, you know what I'm saying, on that, because I think there are more severe faults in the dogs versus other faults. I had a very well-known judge, and I'm going to say this over the ride bite thing, and I'm not trying to, discredit anybody. I had a UKC judge, very well-known breeder and judge,
Yes, sir.
made a statement to me that it was a pretty profound statement. And her her message to me was, they don't walk on their mouth. and you really got to think about that for a second, because there are more severe faults in the dog than just the bite.
Yeah.
When you guys touched on no, that's kind of
Roger.
loud over here. You guys touched on. Give me a second. Get away from that noise. You guys touched on, like for example, king tails. I think that's more severe fault because, like you said, were pretty much on point. But the fact of the matter is that the spine will affect everything: kidneys, liver. Because it's all that communication runs on the spine. So if it's pinched off or you know um, in a compromised position, it's going to affect a lot in the dog. So there's a lot of things that I like I said, I've learned for many years that there are things that are more severe that sometimes we overlook. So it's a matter of it's like being in an emergency room in a hospital. You got to evaluate which is the patient that is the that needs the most attention.
Yeah.
So it's a very I don't even know how to say it. What I'm saying, because
Like grading on a scale, yeah.
Yeah, what I'm saying. Something you gotta evaluate your faults. And I hate to say this, and I hate to say that because we are not in a community right now where all our dogs are cookie cutter dogs. And I talked to Juan about this in the other live that we're not there yet. Are we progressing to that direction? I hope so. I'm hoping we'll get to the point where we are creating dogs that are consistent.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're there yet. And I'm not trying to man, behind me is so loud. Let me get away from here. There you go. It's one of the things where it's like the AKC. All the dogs you're going to watch the AKC show, they're very consistent in their look and everything. We're not there yet.
Right.
The thing is though is I have faith that we're going to get there, but it's a thing of progression and learning. And it's like people like you that are in here that are in these lives that are going to make that happen. So I come in these things and I guess I really admire you guys and my hat's off to you. And I hate to jump in here like this and interrupt you guys. I don't want to take away from Juan because he is the feature tonight. I'm saying he's the man tonight. And
Appreciate it.
No, it's for real.
You never
Man.
taken away, man. You spitting gems for us, man.
No, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man, I
Always.
met this guy only once, and when I met him, I really took an admiration from him. Because the fact of the matter is, like I said, I've done a lot of things in life. I coached football, baseball. I did a lot of things, and I got his good judgment of character, right?
Yeah.
So Juan, don't let me down, God dang it. But
Never.
I'm saying this. I'm saying
Better
this
live
guy's
up to it.
genuine. I'm saying this guy's genuine. And that's why.
Oh.
And it's so ironic that we're in the same place. Same place, two different places, but we're in the same thing to talk about dogs. But I think the guy he's one of those guys that he's going to make a lot of noise. Because he's got his intentions, his heart's in the right place, and I think this guy is going to be one of those people that's going to be, a real icon in the bully world, and I think he's going to move forward. And I think that the more he's involved in his lives and what he's doing now, he's one of those passionate people. Like all these people in this live are very passionate, and I admire you
Caleb
guys.
and I have talked about that before, Ramos. Like that's something that we hope that this, I guess we've all talked about it, but I know Caleb and I have talked about it a couple of times where.
Well, you guys belong to the same No Hair Men's Club or something like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
No,
Yeah.
I just
Meetings on
That's
Thursday
exactly
night,
right,
yes.
and it's a real thing. It's a powerful organization. But
Well, I heard you guys say that was not. That's not hair. That's a solar panel for a second.
The power's in the beard, baby.
Oh, that's
No.
really.
Right.
I got to. How do I get this thing under control? Lately, it's been like wild, man. I don't.
It's the change of the season, right?
Oh, that's what it is.
You got it frizzy on you right
Man,
now.
I got to get some pomade on that thing or something. Man.
Yeah.
There you go.
But we've
Yeah,
talked
hit it with
about,
some slow
that what one of the things we really hope that this does above all else is not only educate and get a chance to showcase some of the people that are wonderful in this community, but also to show that like there are good people with the heart in the right place, and that this thing is not this ugly thing that sometimes they see out there. You know that we kind of all want to model the right behavior,
Yeah.
so that people can see that there are people serious about this. It's not just some money grab. It's bigger than that, you know. And we try to bring as much ethics into all this as possible, and education, and reach one, teach one, and helping these kids and doing all like this is what it's all about to a
Yeah.
lot of us, a lot more than people realize. And to me, that's the most inspiring part of it, you know.
And,
And I'm
and
and
this
I'm
is
just
why I admire you guys' lives. I'm saying we don't got too many lives that are that some of them they start and they die out, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
And I think what happens is that they get disheartened because unless it's a Jerry Springer show, you don't get the following.
Yes.
And that's what the sad thing
Yes.
is. If it's educational, they find no drama in it, so there's no entertainment value for them.
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
But the true people that are passionate are going to follow you guys, and I pray that you guys continue to join, because I see so many of these podcasts and stuff like that. They fall out, and it's a shame. And this is why I want to nurture. How do I do that? The guy over there, Juan. I'm glad to see you guys. Bring guests like this,
Yeah.
because these people are essentials. They are the ones that are going to continue to grow this. And when I first came into the bullies, people thought I was, when I left the AKC UKC and I came to the American Bully, those people in that world kind of frowned upon me, and I had rocks thrown at me because you were doing with the American Bullies. So I said, man, I can stand on the sidelines and critique and throw rocks at them, but why don't you take a proactive stance and teach these people?
Yeah.
And the ironic thing, the same thing happened when I started doing the exotics. Because oh, they're ruining the breed and everything. Same thing the AKC UKC said about the American Bully. And if you notice, the exotics actually are cleaning up. They're starting to look more a healthier type of dog. You know what I'm saying?
I
Yep.
like to
So
believe it's because of guys like you that said, "Hey,
it's
you
not
know
me.
what? The
It's
breed's not going
us. It's
anywhere.
us.
Somebody that knows what they're doing needs to get
Mhm.
involved and
Right.
clean this thing up."
Yeah.
Right. And and you're gonna laugh at me because when I first started thinking, I felt like the old the old biblical story of Sodom and Gomorrah. When the dear Lord says, find me 500 righteous men, and he says, like, man, God, you're being hard on me, man. He goes, okay, find me 50, and he goes, man, you're still hard, man. So he said, he says, find me 5, and he says, okay, I'll do that, man.
That's two
So
out
when
of
I go
three,
to the
man. That's two out of three. Come on now.
Yeah.
so I say, so he said, so find me 5. So when I go to these shows and stuff like that, I'm trying to find 5 that that I can convert and make them understand. Man, make a cleaner dog. And I'm not trying to say don't do what you're doing, just make it healthy. I'm saying so,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but
All I
I
do
don't want to take away,
is
man. I feel like I'm taking away from one, and I don't want to do that. So I just had to jump in real quick, and I had to just pat you all in the back. I'm
Good
going
to
to
see
give
you,
Juan.
brother.
No, I'm saying
Good,
likewise,
good
man.
to
Juan,
see you,
Yes.
and we
Thank
love
you.
you
Hey,
all
come
here,
back
man.
on
We
the
I
love
show
you
appreciate you, Juan.
sometime.
We got to talk, Juan. We got to get together, and just sit
for
down and talk,
sure,
man.
for
All
sure, for
right,
sure. I would love that, man.
All right, man.
peace.
Hey,
Yeah,
All
you
All
got
right,
to
right,
Stay
come
OG.
blessed,
come
you
back on
guys.
the
I love you,
show.
good to
man.
see you, and thank
Yeah,
you
love y'all,
for
bro.
blessing us with your presence.
Hey, we need to have him back on here soon, man.
Yeah.
Of
always.
course.
Sure does.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Such
yeah,
a cool
yeah.
dude.
That guy right
Yeah.
there
Legend.
is
Legendary.
Yeah.
truly a legendary guy in this community, man.
Of
Oh,
course.
He is the real
oh
deal,
yeah.
man.
He
And a
Yeah.
really
book of knowledge, a book of knowledge for sure,
Of
and
Oh
and
yeah.
good energy. He
He's
always
Oh,
forgotten
yeah.
more than we know for sure.
And gives the information.
Yeah, he
Gives
will.
the
He will tell
information.
you that. He's like, I've probably forgotten more than some people will ever learn in their lifetime, and I don't know if that's
Can
useful.
you imagine his perspective, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
what he sees through his eyes when he looks at the breed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's just seen so much, and Bruce too, been around it so long that watch the entire evolution of this
evolution.
thing from being in game bred pit bulls going all the way up through to where it's at, man. It's been a journey, man. It's really
Yeah.
cool, and knowing the history is different than watching it evolve.
Yeah.
uh I know that's really cool, man. That's one of the greatest things about you, Unc, is you've been there, man, through the whole thing. So like
Yeah.
your perspective is priceless.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So we are, just a recap, we are sitting at our height of 53.
Okay,
Pretty cool.
okay,
We're
that's not
getting
too bad.
close.
We
Heading in
close.
that direction,
Come on,
guys.
man. We need
So for
22
Yes.
anybody who
more.
just
Everybody
started
that's
in,
on the show,
we getting there, we getting there. So for anybody who
Hit
just tuned
share
in, who
on
does not know
3.
what this is about,
everybody
why
that's
I
on
need,
the show, share,
yeah.
bring somebody else in.
Yeah. So if you
22 more.
just start tuning in and you're kind of curious as to why we're worried about viewers right now, it's because our guest Juan, who is phenomenal, he is offering a drawing for a free stud credit to Grand Champion Bingo. The
Let them see bingo again.
Yeah,
Just
put up
for
the
I'm
pedigree
bringing
again.
it up. Let's see
And
here. So
I
and
sent a
then the
couple of pictures and videos too to you guys, just in case.
semen
awesome. Yeah.
analyst, like
yeah,
he's
let's
doing
look at
all these
those.
things. It's A1 service that's being sent to you. It's a completely free service if we get
Completely.
75. So
It
Yep.
won't cost
everyone
you
that shares the
anything.
live
Just
is
get it
entered
out of
into
get it
it.
out of the mail. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
It's
we
a
can never
absolutely.
get to
conversation. That's
75.
all it's gonna cost you. I'm
Right,
gonna send
right.
it to you
Absolutely.
on me. Shipping is free. Analysis is free. Semen pull, of course, is free.
Wow.
Then share the
Shipping
live,
too.
share with the community. There's an amazing
Mhm,
podcast
mhm.
full of like positive energy, super insightful, super knowledgeable people. Just want to come together and vibe and just put on for the bully community.
Yes, definitely. And so the way that
Yes.
you can enter this drawing, again, very, very important. Go ahead and share the live. Come back into the comments. Just literally put the word shared,
Shared.
and then you are automatically in the drawing. Now, but here's the big part, guys. It's engagement related. So it's based on that. So we have to get to 75 views before
At
I
one
draw
time.
any of these names.
22
So
more.
we just need a few more. I mean, we got to 53 already. So we are heading in that direction, guys. So
Yeah.
again, share it,
Yeah.
come back to the comment, say shared, and
Yeah.
then at the end of the show, if we've gotten to 75 at any point during this live,
Yeah, we're
we
in
will
there.
draw a name for that free
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
I would recommend that anybody that has typed shared on the screen that they go drag somebody else in here
Right.
to make their efforts worth it.
Mhm.
Share it
Yes,
with your
Amanda,
mama and your mama's mama.
your mama's mama. Can you Amanda, can you play them the videos and stuff that he sent? Is that something you can do?
I do not have those videos shared directly to me
Do you want me
yet.
to send you a couple real quick, Amanda?
Yes, please. I would
got
love
you.
that.
There
So
we
that way
go.
I can work on getting those up because we also want to see this beautiful bowl in movement. If that
And Amanda, you're
that's
This
doing
is
really
the
great.
first
Like
time
she's
anybody's
writing the
ever
names
done this
down.
on
She's
the
doing
show, and it doesn't surprise me a bit. This is a stellar individual right here. I really like this
yeah.
guy, man. I just it's no surprise to me that he would do something so special.
Oh, I know.
Thank you. I
Right?
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go on there and share it all too while we're on here. We can actually hit
And
the share
then
button.
hey, so we got Juan Acevedo in here. He's from the California area. He has some beautiful bulls out there. So I'm glad that you are in this drawing because I think that this would also be a great opportunity to add some great blood to some already amazing blood.
I just sent you a few.
Yes, I heard it. I heard it blinking at me. All right, just right now, I'm just adding the last several entries. So we're getting some great engagement. Still in the 50s, guys.
Right. And just to let you guys know, the community, to put it out there. So Bingo's a grand champion in the GCR. He's also an ABKC champion, and he's also a USBR champion. We're shooting for a BRC championship title as well. And we're shooting for the ICBR title as well. So we're just trying to show up and show out, spread love within the community, and really show you guys what Bingo's looking like, what he really is, and hopefully, you want to breed to that dog. At the end of the day, we follow the standard very closely. I really pride myself on that. I've started to embark in the journey of judging. So I really have a keen eye for
Nice.
what bullies really look like. All of my dogs in my program are dual champions. So not only one registry, but two registries are certifying that. And it's not like I'm it takes me
Right.
5, 10, 15 shows to really champ these dogs out because, when I believe that kind of happens, it's like, it might not be exactly the cream of the crop. So we're working with some heat over here on this side.
I
Yes,
like
no,
that.
absolutely. Definitely, definitely. And then, so Brandon, yes, I did get yours from earlier. So I do. He actually shared it in more than one place, which we greatly appreciate. So thank you very, very much for that, Brandon. And then let me get these videos.
Awesome opportunity and awesome what you're doing, man. Like, and
100%.
Thank you.
you
This
have a
is
stud that
crazy.
stays outside too. Like a lot of people, when they push a stud, they push it for a very short time, goes back in hiding. People are hoping that it stays active because they want their puppies to be, active as well. You stay outside. You have been in the South, you have been in the North, you have been in the Midwest, you have been in the Central. Like you stay outside and you're showing every angles of your boy. And I love that the opportunity you had to actually stack your boy next to his dad. What an
Yes,
iconic moment and a father son combo. That's tough to beat right there. That
for
that was
sure,
that
for
was a cool
sure.
moment.
And his dad is a beautiful bull as well. So shout out to Jason and Tracy, amazing, amazing people that own Grand Champion Big Boss. I've also handled him a couple of times. I don't know if you've seen I don't want to toot my own horn, but I don't know if you've seen the video and the pictures of me stacking Grand Champion Big Boss, man. I heard that's the
Mhm.
cleanest he's ever looked. He's a
Really?
beautiful
Heck
dog though,
yeah.
so I never want to take anything away from
Yeah.
him. I just want to showcase the bully for what he really is, and that's why I always put my heart into when we show.
Nice. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
I respect that.
for
I couldn't
sure.
figure out how to share without jumping off, so I got off to
Oh,
do
I
so.
know, right? No, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, we're getting a lot of share notifications. This is awesome, guys. Dang. That's
Yeah,
what
it's
I'm doing all this writing for. Sorry about
jumping
that.
on it.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you. I'm definitely gonna tap in with you, Ron. Like such a wealth of information, man. I would love to, just politic with you and just, share ideas and just learn as much as possible from you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to get connected with you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, let me
For
go
Yep.
sure.
and hop over here and pull some of these.
So, do you have any other dogs that you're working with or in your program that we can talk about?
For sure, for sure. So we just dropped 2 litters. So I dropped a litter with our female Cinnabon and Champion Brim. And then we just dropped the litter with Bingo, Grand Champion Bingo, to our
Mhm.
female champion Chi Chi. So right now we have 3 puppies. I also did a collaboration with my boy Angel, certified breadwinner bullies. He used my Outcast credit on one of his Brim females, and so I have one of those puppies as well. So we're just training them and working and stacking them now. To show them as a puppy so young, to be honest, in the
Mhm.
conformational ring doesn't make too much sense to me, only because you may take the age class, but it's very tough to take the major on a 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 year old dog within the same variety. You know what I'm saying? Unless your dog is really super duper impeccable. And at the end of the day, we have the puppy's only 3 months and 5 months. So we've just been working on campaign and bingo, and then we've kind of been opened the doors to working towards like kind of the exotic breed. I know it's kind of frowned upon. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get beat up on this slide for that. But my girlfriend, she has an exotic that we produced, super like out of the kind of the air kind of thing.
Mhm.
And we looked back into my female's pet and she ended up being 2 times Miyagi. So somehow that came forward.
Dang.
Yeah, so she showed her this weekend, and she did pretty well in the fun show. She's only 5 months old now, and she won best exotic, best female. So we're taking on that endeavor as well as showing an outcast to Brim daughter, and then
Mhm.
also Grand Champion Bingo to our champion Chi Chi female.
And you
Dang.
said you used
That's what's up.
a grim credit to your girl Cinnabon
Cinnabon,
for
we
yes
use Brim.
Brim. Wow.
Yeah,
So even
Brim.
like man, that's tight. I like it.
Yeah.
So
You're
I'll
you're
tell you,
loosening it, but it's still tightening.
Right. So
I've
that
got
was
a
that was an outcross, Caleb. So
Yeah,
we
exactly.
outcrossed that, and we're gonna bring it back to bingo. So now that's kind of gonna be a line breeding. We're gonna start tightening up the blood there, and then we'll just cool it off with something else a little bit later down the line. What I did was I started with a whole bunch of females, and 2 of them were closely related, and one of them was loosely related, and that's because I
Mhm.
did a little bit of homework, and I saw that was the way to go. And then if when you're breeding, the bitch's father should be the puppy's like grandfather, something like that. It's like a bracket that I've been studying. And
Yeah.
so I've been just trying to emulate that, just use the evidence we have in the science behind breeding, as well as, in bark testing and
The
looking
two
at the
three. That's
pheno.
the two
Yeah.
three is what they call that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 Y'all went into depth about that last night on QBN, man. Shout out to Michael Higginson and Raul
Yeah.
Fagundes. Like, man, last night's live was amazing. Like, if
Yeah.
anyone's watching, watch last night's live on QBN. Very, very
Thank
good live.
thank you. Thank you, brother.
Outcrossing and inbreeding, line breeding, when to do it, what to look for. And you're talking about Michael, what exactly? It's the 2 to 3 formula, and that's the granddad on one side should be the what the
Dad on the dad on the
yes.
other. Yeah. The two
That's how you
Mm-hmm.
lock in the traits.
second
And
on
man, they
one
went into the
side, third on the other.
COI.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But
Yeah.
man, very,
Yeah.
very informative.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'm actually, I have a breeding coming up. It's our second attempt at it. It's actually a Bully Pride production female. It was an XL breeding off of Mulatto and Duce.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And the female that I have, beautiful girl, she actually, it's just happened to turn out that she's only 17 inches
Yeah.
tall, just a hair over 17,
Dang.
but built really well. And I'm breeding her to Hellboy.
I can't wait to see that.
And
Okay.
so I have some of this same pedigree tying into my camp there. And because she has XL parents, there's a chance, even though it's only happened, I think once. I think Stephen Maxwell told me it's only happened once.
Mhm.
But Hellboy's on the dam side, the dam Storm, her father was a standard. Storm's father, so Hellboy's grandfather on the dam side was a standard. So it can happen, right?
Mhm.
And I'm hoping maybe to, and if it's all pockets, it's fine with me. But there's a chance you could get a standard out of that breeding there, and possibly even more than that. And so I'm really excited about it. I think they're going to match up really well. But I've been talking to Steven and going back and forth, trying to figure out, what would be. It depends on the puppies and what I'm looking at when the time comes. But this is definitely a pedigree that would fit 100%. He's an exceptional boy, that's for sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless. But I didn't produce him, but we got blessed with him. And he's
Yeah,
gonna be like a pivotal part of our program.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He is. Play that one more time, Amanda. That was I didn't mean to take away from that video. Look at him out there in the snow. What a great time to get pictures and videos of a dog in the snow.
Right? Yeah, when they have that white chest drop, it looks really good against the snow with the dark
Uh,
hues around them too as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's having a
yeah,
good old time. Look at that meatball.
And I
Yeah.
love
beautiful
the
little
videos.
meatball,
I
man.
love the
Yeah,
Headpiece.
videos.
isn't-
Like you're not hiding anything. You're out at every
Oh
show.
yeah,
Like he's being
these are.
evaluated.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
hey, so you're getting into judging. So are you actually sanctioned judge? I've seen you do fun show multiple times. Like, is there a registry that you're judging for?
So I've been doing a lot of fun shows. There's a registry that I might be stepping into judging for. It's been in the talks, but I feel kind of semi biased. Why? Because
That boy's nice.
like judges showing within their registry, it's kind of tough for me. And
Yeah.
I don't want to be a judge and show within the registry. When I start to judge, I want to take back from handling, at least within that registry, and
Mhm.
give the community and the people a chance to win. I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes when the judges within that registry win, it leaves a sour taste within the community's mouth. And at the end of the day, what we're really trying to do is bring the community together and have people like involved in the bully world and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and to not give them an opportunity to win if their dog is really like showcased well. It's kind of tough, and I think it leaves a sour taste.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
What to show and judge?
Yeah, to like be a judge within your same registry, and then also show there. So when I step into judging, I'm gonna kind of slow down with the showing a lot. But
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do is just really put a name on our program. There's not too many pocket breeders on the East Coast, especially in New York, and especially if you get more specific within the Bronx. So what I'm trying to really do is put the Bronx on the map with some quality bulls. I've heard that we're just not the it place. So I'm trying to make us a little,
Yes.
a little spot on the map. That was
I like
that.
that.
That was at the
That was
Bully War
Montgomery.
show. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
Montgomery, Alabama. On the way back from that show, me and my girlfriend, we hit a buck. We ended up totaling the car on the way
That's the
home.
one you totaled the car from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a breeding going out to the UK. We ended up missing that breeding. Like, it was super tough. But you really love it when you don't even really hold on to that, and you buy another car and you get right back to the showing.
Bro,
Right.
Yeah.
when you can see a dog's forechest from the direct front,
Yeah.
that's saying something,
Yeah.
right? You can
Yeah.
see the shape of his forechest even looking straight in front of him. He's got a great forechest.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful
Thank
animal.
you.
Good shoulders.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Nice
Yeah,
dog.
and I think that's Cheyenne from Power Play. Is that correct? That's is that Skywalker daughter? I want to say.
I think that's a muscle tone dog, to be honest. That was a
Yeah.
male.
It looks like
That's
a muscle
if
tone.
I'm not mistaken, I think that's like, his name is Daniel Groff or
Okay,
something
yeah, that's
like
right.
that.
And then, but there was a dog I think that either you handled or you handled against. That I think that was Power Play's Cheyenne, which I think is a Skywalker daughter. So you've actually either handled against or handled that dog.
Skywalker littermate.
Mm. That's all right, sister. Because
Yeah.
because right now there's campaigns going on for both a sister and a daughter, and it's interesting because they look so identical. That it's really hard to know which one you're looking at. I think, which again is a testament to Devin's program. So for sure.
Super dope people too. I have a grand champion Skywalker credit. I took it to my female. She didn't hit yet, so we're just waiting
Oh,
for one of my other females to come
Nice.
into heat
He's a
to use
beautiful
them.
Nice.
dog, that's for sure.
Nice out.
Yeah.
I like that.
Beautiful dog.
Loose
Yeah.
head. Let it breathe.
Yep.
That's one of my wife's favorites. She likes Skywalker.
oh,
Yeah, he's
yeah,
Yeah.
nice. He's a nice standard for sure.
Mhm.
He is.
very
Man,
much so.
that Samson line, Mark and Tamara, man, crazy
What great
consistency.
people are they?
Mhm.
I'll
Awesome.
tell you what. We talked about this a little bit, but right now it's happened kind of almost silently, very stealthy. But the standard class is hard to put a finger on right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of variety in the standard class, in the what has become the true standard class right now. There's not a lot of range, man. They're either classics or they're XLs, like
Yes.
Or pocket. Yeah.
or pockets. They're
100%.
just there's
Right.
not,
Line bred
you
so many
know,
times that they become pockets, and
name
Yeah.
me
the
20
lineage goes to
competitive
pocket.
standards right now, true standards. It's
Right.
tough. So anybody that's doing a little bit of that, man, and bringing those standard dogs, I love a standard. I think they are the standard.
Hey, Chris
Um,
Simmons, I'm going to shout him out. I love that he is continuing the standard look and what he has over there.
Agreed.
Prophet, and um, he's got the boy from Tyshawn too. What's his name? But he's got
Look
some
at that
beautiful,
dude.
beautiful standard boys over there. A lot
Yeah,
of from Grand Champion Blue. Like Grand Champion Blue, in my eyes, is like the prodigal, like standard, American bully.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Beautiful animal. Oh, for sure. I'm like perusing through
My
your
Instagram. I sent you a couple more videos, like more recent ones. They're kind of like very snowy, only because it's been snowing over here. Like
right.
if we're in
Yeah.
Antarctica for some reason.
I know. All of a sudden, it decided it was going to be Antarctica. That's
It's
awesome,
crazy.
isn't it?
I just got all the snow cleaned up and all the poop cleaned up, and now it's like crazy.
Well, that's the man.
Y'all
Okay,
get plenty of snow up there.
yeah. I
And
will
I'm tired
definitely
of
say
it,
it's
man.
easier
Yeah, leave it
to
up.
clean up
Keep it up
when it's
there, man.
frozen.
Keep it up
Yeah,
there.
let it
Don't bring
stay
that
up there.
down.
Don't
Don't
talk it
don't bring
down
that
here.
down here. Don't bring that down here.
No, man,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Hey, but Juan, what do you think, man? We've had very, very good interaction tonight. A lot of people sharing this live. And what's nice is a lot of people watch the lives the next day, the next 2 days, the next three
Yeah.
days, catching up with it. We reposted on Facebook, we reposted on YouTube. So what do you think about doing the drawing still, due
What
to
are
the
we at?
interaction that we've had?
So we are still 55, I think was
It's got to be.
Okay.
It's more. It's got to be more than that. They just hadn't came something slow or something. It's
yeah,
got to
either
be
I'm
because
not
you
seeing
was
it.
at 50. You was at 50 earlier, and I seen people sharing the live.
Mhm.
So
And I'm
it's
seeing it.
the counts. It's got to be up there. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not counting. Right.
Yeah.
So
That counter's messed up. I saw
Vernon Brooms
76.
actually told me that this has been shared a total of 172.
72.
Wow.
172.
So
Yeah.
thank you
Let's
guys.
get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Man.
Wow.
All right, then.
That speaks volumes about
Oh,
you.
Yeah.
absolutely.
We peddle access, but we have to peddle
Mhm.
access to the people that allow access, and that is huge tonight. So, man, 172 shares, that is a testament to what you do, your impact on the community, your impact on the children that you're teaching every day, your impact on the bully world. And I love that you're transitioning into a judge because that's made for you as an educator, as a
Thank you.
promoter, as a person for the breed. So I'm tuned in with you. I've respected you from day one that I've started following you. But
Sure.
man, tonight's gave even more respect, and I love what you're doing, man. Like, keep
Thank
your
you. I
foot to the
appreciate it.
pedal and keep moving forward. And I can't wait to see you at the top because that's coming.
Thank you, bro, for sure. And
Yeah,
ditto,
all
bro,
that.
because your program is great. And your setup, I remember when you posted your setup, man. That's a nice setup you got going on.
I appreciate that, man. One day you're gonna come down. You were in Montgomery. That's an hour and a half away, bro. Bro,
Right.
I
you should
know,
have
so
came. You could
close.
have signed
I
this
didn't know.
wall.
My
This
bad.
wall.
I didn't know.
Yeah, but what do y'all think about doing the drawing? Like, it's up to you, man. Juan,
Yeah,
like,
let's do the drawing, man. We here for the love, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna be an Uncle Scrooge with everybody.
Everybody's in there fair and square. So, like, if I
Yeah.
win it, I mean,
Let's get
man,
it done. Let's
172 shares though, like that, man. That to really, really put a magnifying glass on that and really show that that's
yeah, it's a
amazing.
big deal. And we don't ever ask people to do that, but under
No.
these
Yeah, this is a
circumstances,
first for us. I mean, this
And
is
thank you
absolutely a
to
first
each
for us.
person that did that and everyone that tunes in every week, because without y'all, like, we're not educating, we're not peddling access, because we have to have people that are viewing in to peddle access. So thank y'all.
right.
golly,
All
time
right,
is
you
flying by, man.
guys.
We've been doing this a long time.
Amanda,
Even
did you
since
put my name in there? Juan said I have 5
I know
entries.
Nakaya's in there. I know I better be in there too, Amanda.
Your wives are. Y'all
Okay.
can't be in there. Your wives definitely put an entry in for you.
What's hers is mine, so I'm in there.
Y'all need to have a chat about that.
Christina, you better put some witchy woo woo on this, baby.
You see her go behind him with like sage, like
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
No, you're killing me. All right,
Baby,
you guys
baby,
ready?
put the sage up. He's just playing. No.
Hey, Michael, her video yesterday was hilarious.
Oh, she's too much, man.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
If you
I
want
told her
someone to
shots fired, dude. I was shaving.
Yes.
Look, this clean shave. Come on, man.
Yes, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready?
Drum roll.
Let's see. Oh, the dog bowl too. Oh.
All right,
Yeah,
I know,
that's
right?
what
It had
she
to.
uses.
It
Like
had to.
she drinks out of those too. So
Dude, I got a good feeling
Wow.
right now. Just saying.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Christina's ready.
Mudville Bullies, baby.
Mudville Boys.
there we go.
California.
Bullies.
Congratulations, Juan.
Okay.
Congratulations
So
to
Juan won it for
everybody,
Juan.
man. How
It
cool
was
is
a
that?
one-on-one kind of thing,
yeah,
right?
one-on-one.
Yeah, this was a one-on-one situation.
So we got to meet them a couple years back at nationals, and we got to meet their dog, who is phenomenal. He's so sweet and so darling, and we definitely made some lifelong friends there. So I am absolutely thrilled about this because I mean, it couldn't happen to a better batch of folks. So he and his wife are phenomenal human beings.
Congratulations to them, man.
And Juan,
Yes.
shoot me a message if you don't mind. Juan, shoot me a message. Let me know you won, and I'll get you taken care of whenever your female's ready, bro.
Man, cool stuff. I love that, man. Thank you again for that, because such an awesome opportunity. And that was the one that was supposed to won.
The one. Oh, wow.
Yep. You ever want
Oh,
to talk
man.
dogs, man? Get on any level, man. Hit me up. Holler at me.
For sure.
Yeah.
Always love, brother. All right, everybody. Have a good night. And thank you so much for
Hey.
having me on.
You too.
Oh,
I
my
appreciate
God.
definitely.
Peace,
Pleasure was
everybody.
ours, for real.
Peace, man.
All right.
Take care.
Peace.
You
Peace.
guys have a great night.